All right, we're back. We're back. It's WrestleMania 42 takeaways from us. We're going to give in our best takeaways from WrestleMania's night one and two, what we liked, what we disliked, and seeing the aftermath of WrestleMania 42, seeing the title changes, NXT call ups. But it's that time of this. It's that time of the year. It's WWE Purge season. They had a bunch of releases. One in particular that left us with a sour taste in our mouth, and we're going to get into that. So join us. All right, we are back. We are back. We took a week off. Lewis decided to take a vacation last week, so we had to postpone. We had to postpone our weekly follow up. had to postpone our weekly show covering WrestleMania 42, but we're back. We're all here. Brian, Lewis, and I'm joined with wrestling media personality Sonny Kane from Wrestling Spotlight. Thanks for joining us, Sonny. As always, we're in the swing of things here. WrestleMania 42 happened. It was quite the controversial, entertaining show. We're going to be getting into that. Also, NXT call-ups. We have a bunch of call-ups from NXT, but also we have a bunch of releases from WWE, which we're going to get into, which was very shocking. We'll get into that. But we are here to talk about WrestleMania nights 1 and 2. Very controversial. First hour is free on ESPN, both nights. Very impactful stuff happened. But what are your guys' takeaways from nights 1 and 2? Let's start with Brian. Brian, let's start off with you because we've been chatting a lot about it, talking about WrestleMania nights 1 and 2. In particular, I've made some videos and stuff like that, singing my disgust for WrestleMania and also singing the praises for WrestleMania. So it was definitely a roller coaster ride. But what were your takeaways from WrestleMania?
Well, like I said in the brief recap of WrestleMania video that I did, that's currently on TikTok at Ring Takes. I mean, it essentially was a tale of two nights. I mean, I quoted a Bleacher Report because they had given their review of the show. I'm not going to paraphrase what they said, but they essentially said that night one felt like TKO was trying to prove to everybody they could book a show, and they failed miserably. And then night two, WWE creative took back over and looked at TKO and said, "This is how it's done." And literally, it was night and day. It was two completely different shows. Night one felt rushed and quick, with the exception of the main event, and night two felt a little bit more together, felt a lot more balanced. There was a lot better action, and one of my biggest takeaways obviously was the first match of night two, the rise of Oba Femi. They did it right. They did exactly what needed to be done. The match was a perfect length, and now you got a new super duper star in Oba Femi as a result of it. I don't think anybody expected that we have the retirement now of Brock Lesnar. I mean, a lot of reports came out. Yeah, I know, quote unquote. But a lot of reports have come out saying that, like, if Brock were to retire,
I heard him say I quit, so that's what I heard. But
yeah,
anyway,
I mean, there are reports out that say that like this is an official retirement for Brock, because Brock was always the type of guy to kind of do things on his terms, not to have like an elaborate presentation or have like a whole night dedicated to him. Like, if he was going to retire, he was just going to just retire unexpectedly, and nobody was going to see it coming. If he is officially retired, I mean, we should give a big thank you to Brock Lesnar for as much as the booking has made to make him look strong, make him look as dominant and strong as he's been. Sometimes a little stale and repetitive. I mean, Brock Lesnar, he really is one of the greatest combat sports athletes. I mean, all of his his accolades, both inside and outside the ring, are duly noted. I mean, if there's no more Brock Lesnar, we, for the years that we did have him, whether it was part time or full time before then, those were some good years. So great for Brock Lesnar. Aside from that, I mean, again, all the positivity on night two. and then night one was just a head scratcher with some of this stuff. I mean, you can make the case that for night two, the first two matches immediately blew night one out of the water. Like realistically, if you just aired the first two matches of night two and then just ended the show right then and there, it was better than night one, which is crazy. When you really think about it.
Yeah.
And one last thing, I just want to talk about night one, the main event. With them kind of resetting the Cody versus Randy storyline to what it should have been all those weeks before. Like I said in the chat, I hate when they do stuff like that because it makes you ask the question, why the fuck did you book it in the first place? I mean, if you're gonna book something like that, you might as well just go all the way through. You knew the fans were shitting on it after week one, and after week one, that's when the axe should have been put down, and you should have kept going in the direction that you initially were going in. So now that they've kind of reset the storyline. To me, there's still no interest there because you already kind of fumbled it all away by throwing all these celebrities in the first place. I don't think there's anything they can do to recover it. In my opinion, they should just move forward and have Cody have a different opponent and send Randy in a different direction. So.
Yeah.
Lewis, I'll let you go. We haven't been able to talk too much. You've been enjoying the sun and haven't had a real chance to talk about WrestleMania. So the floor is yours.
No, yeah, for sure. It was a little bit of a struggle, obviously, because I was away. I was in Central America, so the time zone and then was throwing me off and everything, and start times, and then I'm like not trying to have spoilers on my phone, so it was just a lot. To reiterate a little bit of what Brian said, like, night one was just so disappointing. Night one, I was not really excited for a lot of the stuff that was on night one. That first match with, the Usos, LA Knight, and then the Vision, no stakes, didn't really care for it. That was really just an iShow speed moment. And yeah, I mean, going to the main event, I saw people say, like, oh, they made the right call, like, they did it right, they got rid of, Randy attacked Pat McAfee and blah, 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 but it was just like, we said it weeks and weeks on that that feud wrote itself and they butchered it, and they even tried to save it with a punt, which I have been clamoring for a punt to come back for so long, because that was prime heel Randy, and even that I was in shock. I was like, he did it, but that still couldn't save it for me. So yeah, I think Brian said it best. Like they said is that TKO basically just tried to interject as much as they could, and they were like, yeah, maybe we didn't do such a good job. Night 2, 10 times better. Love that. I mean, like Brian said, hats off to Brock. I think definitely letting Oba shine and just show his power, and this is, I think right before we started, I said this is a new era. Like, it's literally the changing of the guard. Like, really, the John Cenas, the AJs, all these guys they're on the way out, and look at all these people from NXT are coming up trying to make a name for themselves, and they shine bright. Oba, Trick, obviously not a newbie, but Penta. I thought it was also a great surprise. Not that it was really a surprise, but Paige coming back. I know Dan probably had some.
I'll save my.
I know. I already know what you were gonna say. That she didn't deserve to win the title off rip, and I've alwas been a Paige fan. I thought she was amazing for her short time that she was here, when she was in NXT, when she was women's champ. Very unfortunate, just like the injuries she had, and when she came back at AEW wasn't really the same as well. But great pop. Again, I think I felt the same way, where it was like you kind of blew all these tag teams out the water just to give it to Paige. But it is what it is. Also, the ladder match, amazing. I thought that was great. Javon Evans, Rusev, even everybody had their great spots. Penta, exactly. It was made perfect for him because that's just his type of match, and I thought it was the right call for him to still keep the title. Had hopes for Javon, but either way, still great. And then again, done right. Trick winning. I wasn't sure that they were actually going to pull the trigger. I thought there was going to be some other like interference or something, whatever. But to give him that moment, I thought was awesome. And then I was pleasantly surprised with the main event because I thought there was going to be more hoopla involved, but it was just a straight up match. I think Punk and Reigns made magic. A lot of back and forth, a lot of great spots, a lot of hard hitting stuff. Like, and they said it afterwards. Yeah, we might hate each other, but we made it work and we made a hell of a match. And I thought that's what it was. So, yeah, night one, thumbs down. Night two, thumbs up. I don't know. Part of me is like, I don't know if Mania should just be one night. I really feel that Mania should just be one night. I think it's too much. I mean, AEW literally has a 4-hour show, but it all culminates into a great show. I think these 2 nights, and even from hearing from people, they're saying like night one, barely any wrestling. It wasn't even that long. And it still took that long. It's more ads than anything. It's like, it's crazy. So I think, I don't know. Personally, I think one night of Mania that would just work much better. But that's just me. But overall, that's my thoughts on it.
Your takeaway, Sonny, from WrestleMania night 1 and 2?
My takeaway was from what I saw in the aftermath of what I saw was when you're at the big dance, it's hard to get your rhythm sometimes. And I noticed the guys were going through the motions faster than usual from nerves of being out in front of that many people. That's a much larger audience than they have on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. And they were being shown on ESPN, which was a first. I think next year at WrestleMania, if ESPN airs it again, that eventually we're going to have a conversation with ESPN and the ESPN app and say, why are we doing this? Why don't we do one thing or the other? And it may even involve Netflix too, and say, why don't we put everything on one thing and make it simpler on the fans, which is us, to view the spectacle instead of having it on 3 different shows. It's just a costly venture for the average bear, which is me at this point. But what I saw 55,850 people in their seats paying attention the entire time, which is unprecedented for that many people not to be up walking around. I was surprised, really, at overfilming the fact that Brock Lesnar didn't get any real comeback attempt during the show's main wrestling match. I expected to see something, but what I did find out through doing some major snooping was Triple H had asked him to do one more show against the Ring General and lose to him, and that be his retirement match, and he said no. And he chose to lose to Oba Fleming. So what I saw on both nights, fellas, was I saw 2 senior wrestlers, Sami Zayn, say what you will about Sami, and I saw Brock Lesnar put 2 younger bucks over and make stars out of them. That's what I saw. Now, is Sami done? No. Sami will just go back and be rewritten up and be pushed further. So Sami's only around 41 years old, so he has some time left. But for Brock to make the right call to say, hey, I'm done, I think it's the right place for him to step out and take a bow and take a knee all at the same time. I was never a Brock fan because I saw him a product of the system. I saw he was being pushed early on and forced upon me, and I hate it when someone forces someone upon me to make me get behind him. I never got on the Brock Lesnar train. I don't have anything against him. I too am from a combat background, very much so, but it's not to take anything away from where he's been. They just spearheaded him into the spotlight overnight, and it's like, well, where did he come from? What's he about? They didn't give you any real background on him. Suddenly he was there with Paul Heyman and being told how wonderful it was, and it came out of the plant, basically. And each school, fellas, to give you a little history of it, it's going to have one big star that's going to make it, to make that school shine. And it's that way on every school running today. But I thought the main event at night one was not so much up of Femi, which was predictable when I saw the weight difference in Open and Brock. But I thought the Logan Paul match with Speed was off the hook. When Speed went up to the top pole and made that leap onto Logan Paul and got up as high as he got up, not to be a greenhorn and to have landed dead on Logan Paul. He has all the work he wants in WWE. I mean, that's as much of a rookie as he is. We'll be hearing a lot more from him if he decides to go forward from that. That was just out of this world. I mean, he got up there, and that impressed me. The ladder match, I was a little shocked that Penta retained. Now, I'll go on record. I have pushed Penta on next weekend and week out, but I really thought Siobhan Evans had a shot at it. I'm a big Siobhan Evans supporter, and I want to say that Siobhan Evans' partner, who is still in NXT, is improving and coming up a lot since Siobhan has been picked up by the main roster. And I think we're going to be seeing him on the main roster soon, too. He's doing high-flying moves a bit like Siobhan nowadays. And I don't think he's going to be in NXT that much longer, maybe 6 months tops. Night 2 was a bit slower, I thought. I was happy to see Cody Rhodes take the title. I really thought Randy Orton had the chance. I personally was disappointed that we didn't have a Rock appearance. I hope that story's not totally dead at this point. Usually WWE doesn't let go of a story. But at any rate, I thought the ending of the match, smacking Cody Rhodes in the head with the title, was the worst thing I've ever seen in professional wrestling. And nobody's finding anybody anymore. In NWA and Mid-Atlantic, if you did certain things, if you pushed the referee, if you laid hands on front office people and shoved them, if you did anything that was unconduct like in the ring, you got fined and you got thrown out for a little while. None of that's in play now. And what kind of example is that set for the young people watching it today? That's my beef with the big leagues today, because little kids are watching this, and you got to keep yourself in check. But one thing I learned over the week doing my usual hours of research, because I have nothing better to do, they have said that Triple H does not make all the judgment calls on the matches anymore by himself. TKO takes at least half of the responsibility now off of Triple H. And I am damn glad to hear that, because there have been some horrible calls, and we'll get to that later in the program, that have gone down recently, Lewis and Brian, that just don't make any sense to anyone. And I'm happy to hear that it's not Triple H acted by himself. So the show is done different than it was done in my day on Independence by a long shot, but that's the way it is up top. So. All good night though on both nights.
All right. Definitely looking at it from.
Sorry, I got an
No, that's fine. Looking at it from night one's perspective, I was absolutely disgusted, and I thought.
Oh, we know
that,
it's on TikTok.
And I thought the fate of the wrestling world was on the shoulders of night 2 of WrestleMania, because night 1 was quick, fast. I thought the decisions were terrible, and there was only a 2-match card. Seth Rollins and Gunther was a phenomenal match. We got the return of Braun Breaker, which I think is great going forward. We got him back in the fold. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, even though with all the hoopla, I thought what we got in terms of the match, I thought was good. I thought it was a great back and forth. They should have been telling the story of the teacher faces the student, you know, and now the student's much earlier. And now the student is now overcoming the teacher and stuff like that. That was fine. They were both playing heel tactics, what they kind of been playing on with Cody Rhodes and stuff like that. We'll talk about the aftermath in a little bit. But I just thought it was a 2-match card. I was very disappointed with the booking. Paige coming back was awesome, but having her and Brie Bella win the tag team titles for a cheap pop, I thought it was a disservice to all the women in the tag team division that they've had wrestle for the past 6 months and put them together in these makeshift tag teams, take them out of the main event, get to the biggest stage of them all, where I personally thought Nia Jax and Lash Legend should have won to retain the titles. You know, they gave their shout out to Demolition, one of the best tag teams of the early WWFs, and they just have them lose. I think she pinned Alexa Bliss and stuff like that. I'm like, you brought in these part-timers to win the tag team titles. Why did you do that?
Paige, that's why.
TKO.
They didn't need the titles.
One word.
They didn't need the titles. Liv Morgan defeated Stephanie Vaquer. Reports were saying that they were both banged up, so that's why the match was so short. I'm sorry, I don't. Liv Morgan's theme needs some work.
That song is terrible.
I don't know why they went that direction.
Oh my God.
They should have left the music video as the music video. It was nice to see AJ Lee come out with all the girls and stuff like that. I don't know if this is her last match, you know what I mean? But another thing, if you come out with kids to a WrestleMania, you're going to lose.
I literally, when I was watching it, I said the exact same thing. I was like, it's the kiss of death now. You come out with the kids.
When I saw it, I was like, I'm like, this is John Cena. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
If you see a bunch of kids out with a wrestler coming to the stage, they're going to lose, unfortunately. I thought that match was okay, but it was just night one was just such a detriment. And people are saying TKO did night one. I don't even know if that's true. I think WWE possibly saw the reaction to night one. Yeah. And we're like, all right, we got to kind of loosen the reins here a little bit here and then try to let it go on night two. Night two, my takeaways, Femi, obviously defeating Brock. I thought it was a great match. It was only 5 minutes. That's the thing that got me.
That's all it needed.
But it worked. It was effective to get Femi over. The crowd was ready for him. Yep.
Does Femi remind you a little bit of Swerve Strickland? A hair bit. In AEW, his presentation, the way he's built now. And all
I
that.
think he has his own. I think he has his own lane and style. Yeah. I think they're both vastly different in terms of, you know what I mean, in terms of appearance and in terms of.
And I mean that as a compliment to him. I don't mean that negative.
Yeah, but I understand, like, in terms of the rise that they're potentially going to have and how much of a star they are. I think in that light, they are kind of similar in terms of these guys are you can't miss. You kind of have to put the strap on them right away, just like with Swerve Strickland when he went to AEW and stuff like that.
It's almost Femi's house in WWE.
Yeah. He's the ruler. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. The crowd was there. Another takeaway from there. The crowd was packed. All the concerns about selling tickets, and it didn't look like there was an empty seat in the house for WrestleMania
like
42.
The one in Saudi Arabia where we're like, look at all those empty seats.
Empty seats.
That was the first thing that I brought up in the chat. You know, all this talk about ticket sales looks pretty damn packed, both nights. Like, so
it was jammed.
55,000 people, Brian, both nights.
Yeah.
Anywhere they could have put a seat, it looked like it was packed. That was the first thing.
I didn't realize, like, bro, literally people wait until like the last 2 days to buy tickets.
Yep.
I think like the majority of the like maybe like the last couple of seats that were available, those were all people that literally waited to the last minute till the tickets were as low as possible to get them. I mean, it even happens on episodes of Monday Night Raw. Like I remember I had a couple of friends who went to the last episode of Raw in Boston, and they literally said they bought their tickets like literally 3 hours before showtime. Yeah. So, I mean, it's what the people fans do.
That's the game we got to play as consumers. Like, hey, we got to make sure.
they didn't give me the price, but they told me when they looked at it like 2 weeks ago compared to the 3 hours before the show.
Were they affordable?
It was a significant drop off. They didn't give me the numbers, but I can imagine that like probably the tickets that they got probably were worth maybe 400 those weeks ago, and then when they bought them hours before, it was probably less than 200. So it's
like that's the game as consumers we got to play. Like, hey, if you guys are going to jack up these prices, we're going to find another way for you guys to get desperate enough to sell out these tickets. I think I joked and looked on Ticketmaster for nights 1 and 2 the night before or the day of, and I'm like, these tickets are $700. There were spaces
out into the universe. One of these podcast teams I'm on is going to give me a press pass. They go to call the front office. They go to send me out in the field to get some interviews backstage. I'm going to get to go meet some folks in the future and get these interviews. That's my vision. And I'm going to send the podcast these interviews.
Hey, yes, I'm fine if they send me to NXT at this point.
I just want to mention one thing. It was something that Lewis had mentioned about the whole idea of possibly moving WrestleMania back to one night. Because I think we talked about that in the chat, because this is the second WrestleMania in a row where night one has been significantly worse than the night two. And at first, I kind of was like, yeah, maybe they should go back to one night. But then I thought about the last time they had a one-night show, and that was WrestleMania 35, which I think that was the one that Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda Rousey main evented. Take that WrestleMania and put ads in it. Take a 7 hours, take a 5 to 6, 7 hour show, and then put ads in it. That's exactly what it would be. So now I'm like, okay, keep it.
My only thing, the detriment to WWE doing 2 nights is the booking. If you're not going to take the booking seriously, I'm not going to take 2 nights seriously.
Well, the show wasn't even booked until like 3 nights before. I mean, we didn't even know who the players were.
So that's the issue, and
y'all recall that? I mean, we were sitting here the Wednesday night before, going who's on the card.
Yeah, and I was full ready for.
Well, most of us were. Those was on vacation.
I was full ready for Randy to win because I already knew they were gonna do that tag match at Backlash, but thank God that they like scrapped it, and I was like, oh shit, Cody actually won. I was like, so great, no more Pat McAfee. I guess they actually hurt us, but whatever.
But yeah, I think overall the booking, if they're not going to take it seriously, it shouldn't be 2 nights. Don't charge people thousands and thousands of dollars to have terrible shows. Like, you can't do that.
To go in there and see nothing. And
you can't do that. I mean, I would rather just have a big WWE World Day access pass and meet the wrestlers and talk to them and do that type of thing. Do not have 2 nights if you're not going to take it seriously. That's my biggest thing.
Final note. Brian, he got 9 out of 13 right. I got 6 out of 13.
Yep.
So Brian's the winner. I'm going to start siding with Brian.
I forgot about that. I think me and Lewis got 7. Brian, you had 9. So
up my game a little bit. Side with Brian against my judgment.
I wish you guys would have seen my reaction when Trick Williams won the U.S. title. I was just like, I tried to tell y'all they're going in that direction. Believe it. Now Sammy is a full-fledged heel. I mean, he was a heel before then, but now he's a full-fledged heel. They don't like Sammy saying that.
Is he?
My thing is he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. But my final takeaway from WrestleMania, the main event of night 2, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. It's very rare that you get a mano-a-mano type match like that. Yeah. The past couple years, we got a bunch of hoopla, a bunch of interference, bunch of shenanigans. This was just straight up mano-a-mano. If CM Punk can stand up to Roman Reigns. And kudos to CM Punk's entrance. I think it's the AFI entrance that he had in ROH. That was beautiful. Like, he's killing it with the entrances, and he had one in Elimination Chamber using Cyrus from the Chicago Bulls and stuff like that, the Alan Anderson's project. Just looking at what that presentation is, that's what saved WrestleMania for me, at least. Like, to make it okay, like, this is passable, like, this is good. Because that main event was so fantastic in terms of drama, in terms of competitiveness, in terms of going back and forth. It was awesome. Half an hour of just pure wrestling, and it's like, we don't need all these celebrities. We don't need all this hoopla. We don't need the bad booking decisions. Just let two guys for the biggest prize in the game go to the ring and showcase their skills at a high level.
How y'all felt about the possibility of CM Punk and Cody Rhodes? I think that'd be a hell of a fight.
Yep. That's definitely coming up.
I think they're evenly matched. I think they know each other really well. I don't think they have to rehearse. I think they could get in there and give a dynamic fight.
Yeah,
Right off the cuff.
Yeah, and I just thought, quicker back to WrestleMania 42, just that main event match. It had me thinking, wait, Roman Reigns, for any people who say he can't wrestle or say he can't do XYZ, you can't do that anymore. You can't. That's thrown out. He can put on. Man, he can put on fantastic matches. That can't be said anymore. Like, this guy is cemented as one of the greatest of all time to me watching that match. And as for CM Punk, last thing, because I know I'm kind of drifting on there a little bit, but the last thing about CM Punk, for him to be out of the company and then return, have an injury, come back and main event night 1 of WrestleMania, and then come back to main event night 2 of WrestleMania. That's all he ever wanted to do. When he talks about all the stories and says, hey, I just want to main event WrestleMania and stuff like that, he main evented night 1 one year, came back and main evented night 2. That is a tremendous accomplishment. Kudos to CM Punk for that. Kudos for his title run. Kudos for what he did at WrestleMania 42 in that match. And kudos to Roman Reigns. Kudos to both those guys for putting on such a great match. I have it up there as one of the top WrestleMania matches of all time. I think top 5 for me personally. And what those guys did just performance-wise, amazing. Like, that's what kind of brought WrestleMania 42 around for me, because night 1 put it in such a hole for me. I'm like, night 2 has to blow it out the water. Femi ladder match was awesome. Trick Williams winning was awesome. Jade Cargill had a great match as well. I don't want to leave that out. That was probably her best showing on the main roster in AEW or WWE. That was it. I wish we didn't have the interference, because I thought the match was going great. But they have to show some shenanigans in there to make it work. But up and down roller coaster for WrestleMania 42. Night 1, I would give a thumbs down. Night 2, I would give a thumbs up for just going in the right direction. But let's get into the aftermath of WrestleMania 42, because we got some different changes here. And we've been talking about new challengers coming in and what's the landscape after WrestleMania 42 and who's going to challenge. Well, we got some answers here, at least for the tribal chief, Roman Reigns there. Jacob Fatu is now stepping up to face Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight title at Backlash. It's been announced. They kind of had a big back and forth there. Roman Reigns is back with the bloodline, apparently, with the Usos. There's been a back and forth here. There's been a back and forth between these two, and they're trying to, like, hey, you got to watch out for him and stuff like that. But now we're getting Jacob Fatu in this spot, who had a tremendous match against Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 42. This is where people have been saying and kind of alluding to where Jacob needed to be in terms of when he first came. Like, he's going to be in this main event. We're going to get this match between him and Roman Reigns. And after, 2 years, we finally got it. And it looks like it's going to happen at Backlash for the World Heavyweight title. What do you guys make of this thing coming all together between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns?
Came out to after WrestleMania, and he had the Usos with him. At first, I thought, okay, we're moving backwards now. So we're going back to the bloodline storyline. I thought we had evolved from that story, and it was actually my older brother, because I texted him about it. And he kind of set me straight and kind of reminded me, like, well, bro, when Roman Reigns was on top and the bloodline storyline was going, it was the most popular and best storyline that they had done in years. So why would they not go back to it? And I was like, you got a point. You got a point. Yeah, it's already proven to be successful. If the formula works, why not go back to it? And now you're incorporating Jacob Fatu into it, And if you guys remember when Solo and Roman were feuding with each other when they had the respective factions last year, they teased a lot of interaction between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. So much so that some people were kind of clamoring for that one-on-one match between both of them. And now that Jacob has been his story has been told more on WWE TV. His background, you've seen a lot more character work from him. He's over like Rover now. I mean, that match he had with Drew McIntyre, literally save night, won the WrestleMania. I mean, he's really has established himself, and now he's a main eventer. So now he's going to be in the main event. I loved the segment that they had on this past Monday Night Raw with Roman. I love the fact that Jacob, he actually was using I think that grip he was using was actually his father's move. So because his father is the Tonga kid, yeah, that Tonga death grip he was using.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about it is, if I remember back a couple years ago when Solo and Roman were feuding, you almost got that sense that Roman was kind of a little intimidated by Jacob. They definitely booked it that way. So it's definitely coming off that like Jacob is going to be a threat in this feud. I mean, I love it. I mean, I had stated that when Jacob was with Solo, I said eventually when he breaks out and he's able to go on his own and develop his own character, and they're able to tell his story, he's gonna get over it, and he's gonna be a main eventer, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm excited for this match. I like how there's been a switch with Jacob lately, because I don't even remember through which segment they were like. I felt like we were kind of getting like the same type of promos from Jacob, but where he was just like the here by myself, blah blah blah, da da da, and then like that was like his whole promo every time. But like these past few, even just like promos against Drew, he's been more calm, and then now he's going after Roman, he's been more calm, and he's actually like not like he wasn't articulate before, but it's just like the style that he's using, it's more methodical, and like he's just like more focused and more like I'm trying to hit all these points. Like I'm not just doing this because everybody thinks I'm wild and crazy. It's like, no, I'm doing this because I need that and everything that comes with that. And just like the way he's conveying all that emotion, and like the reason why he's like, yeah, you might be family, but I need everything that comes with that championship. I like how he's conveying all of that. It's not just him like, I need this, I need that. Like, it's just not just him just like being a werewolf and just like howling. It's
not the Solo Sokoa thinking that he's stupid all the time. This is the smart Jacob that we've been needing to see.
Yeah, it's not just him screaming and just being like and whatever. Like, no, it's like I can talk and I know what the hell I'm saying and I know what the hell I'm gonna do. So I really like what he's been showing the world, and it's like he has the skills in the ring to do it, but he also has the mic skills to really intrigue me with the story. Like Brian said, yes, there's a reason why this story worked for so long, but it's I feel like LA Knight has been the one who's kind of like, or even other people, Punk was like, you guys want me to apologize. When's Roman go apologize to you guys for everything that he did? And that's one big part for me that's like has not been acknowledged, because you had Jimmy spaz out, you had Jay spaz. Jimmy was the first one to turn, and then you had Jay go after it. Well, yeah, I also remember when Roman took out Jimmy, and then Jay had to come out and everything. Like there's a lot of history that just and I get it, they're cousins, families fight, obviously there's wrestling, but it's like, at what point is that ever gonna get acknowledged? Yes, other people can be like, oh, you're just going back to the dictator, or you're going back to this guy bullying you or bossing you around, but they're like, no, that's family. And I don't know, I just kind of want them to dive into that history, like, yeah, we were dominant, but there were issues. And I mean, Roman's been throwing the whole like, yeah, I'm not trying to lead you. I want you guys to be with me, and I want you guys to be the forefront. I don't know. I just want a deeper dive into if it gets to that point. But yeah, I'm loving this whole Jacob thing right now.
Thoughts, Sonny, on the Roman Jacob Fatu matchup?
I think it's going to be the hour that we see exactly what Jacob Fatu can do on his own. I don't think he's going to get it on the first attempt. I think it's going to be dominated by Roman Reigns, but I think we're going to see a strong showing by Jacob. Solo Sikoa has actually said the past few months, if you guys remember, that he wanted to get back with Jacob, but didn't know how to do that. Do y'all recall hearing him talking about that? Well, I think this is his golden opportunity. If he were to come out during some of these rival matches that I think we're about to see between Jacob and Roman Reigns, in telling the story of this thing, and try to assist Solo in this and aid him in going over on Roman, then you could maybe reunite them. The dividing factor is going to be what LA Knight does. LA Knight's pissed off at the Usos right now for acting the way they are toward Roman Reigns. So is he going to help Solo against the Usos, or is he going to stand by and do nothing? My feeling is he's going to assist too. So I think in the end with assistance, Jacob gets it, but I don't think it's going to be right off the bat. I think it's going to be a build up and a work into.
Yeah, I can see this being it's funny because I think about what Paul Heyman said about the bloodline. I remember when he said, I can't remember what show it was. He said we're only in like the third inning of this thing.
That's all. They got more coming up.
So you got all this stuff. It's not really over, right? They were kind of re-energized this storyline between him and the Usos and stuff like that. And I think there's a potential there where the Usos can turn. I think there's a potential that the Usos can turn on Roman again, and kind of because of the mistreatment and stuff like that, and maybe even help Jacob win at some point with this one, because there's a lot of stuff being in there. I don't think they're going to change. I don't know if they're going to turn Jacob right now in terms of heel or anything like that, but in terms of this matchup, Jacob using the tongue and death grip for Meng and stuff like that, I think is awesome. I think that's a great drawback to a guy that's Meng is one of the toughest Samoans. It starts with him, right? Whenever anybody brings him up and stuff like that, in terms of his impact on wrestling and his longevity. But this is just a great switch for me, because I was kind of wondering where Jacob was going to go. I kind of thought maybe he would challenge whoever the WWE Championship was on SmackDown. Now he's moving to Raw and stuff like that to challenge Roman. I think it's a good switch for these guys, because now we're getting this monumental match that we've been thinking about for a while now in 2 weeks out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So like, just to get that, it's like, okay, it's like, okay, thank you. I'll take it.
Do you think we're in the era of people just going to whatever brand they want to go to whenever they want?
That's what I want to address too. WWE. A lot of the work can be done if you use a tool that you have the whole time. Just use the draft. It will save you some booking.
And the thing about it is, Daniel, this is very simple, because in years past they used to do it every single year.
Yes.
But here's the thing: when they did it every single year, and then they did all those brand supremacy pay-per-views, it just didn't click, because a guy would get drafted on get drafted to Raw, and he's been on SmackDown the last 2 years, and now he's supposed to represent Raw, and it doesn't make sense. Realistically, the draft should be done every other year, like that way guys can get familiar with brands, and then when you do the draft, it'll mean more. Like, they haven't had a draft now in 2 years with all this new talent that's there, and talent that they've signed. It's like, this is the perfect time to have a draft.
Yeah,
like,
it's the perfect time to do a draft.
You're on ESPN. You're on ESPN. Like, it's all right there. Like, the marketing tool is.
Instead of cutting
just do a draft style,
with everybody, send them down to send them down to NXT let them redevelop a little bit, work with the younger bucks, and
That's
then go
what.
back up.
We'll talk about that in a minute with the call ups and
I'm not
releases.
understanding the
But
new system at all.
you figured they would have done a draft already in terms
Sort of.
of all the talent and stuff coming around, and they just haven't been able to do that. And I'm like, it's right there. You're on ESPN. You're trying to give this sports feel, and you're not using a tool, one, to create new storylines. You're not using a tool to help bridge the gap. It's just like, oh, these people are appearing on SmackDown now. These people are appearing on Raw. Jacob was on Raw to challenge Roman, and then he was on SmackDown within the same week.
I know he made 2 appearances.
Like,
It was
And
great.
did Ova actually ever sign to Raw?
yes, yeah,
okay.
yeah. He's officially assigned. Yeah.
Okay.
But my thing,
now you got
I mean, I
Cody
don't know
Rhodes
if he
out.
shows up on SmackDown this week.
I guess we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I'll
I just,
text Daniel.
yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know how they're not using that tool. But I digress. I'm just interested in this Jacob Fatu Roman Reigns because it's a match that we've been wanting, especially at Firepower, and we've been talking about new opponents for Roman. Right, in terms of like where this is, he overcame Punk. I thought there could have been a little more rivalry back and forth, but as we talk into our next subject, it looks like things are going to change. As Cody Rhodes, fresh off his black eye, bloody matchup with Randy Orton. Now Randy's kind of in the background, right? We don't know where Randy is. We got a potential challenger in CM Punk who recently just went to SmackDown, and kind of him and Cody had a kind of similar to what they did before WrestleMania 42, kind of standing in the ring and talking about where they are and where they want to go and stuff like that. And Cody Rhodes basically saying, hey, whenever you want to challenge, whenever you want the title, whenever you want a shot, it's going to be here. So what do you guys make about that, potentially? Just CM Punk leaving Raw, not going after Roman Reigns, not trying to get his belt back, and just turning on to a new challenge and looking to face Cody Rhodes. Sonny, you had your hand raised. You can go first. I'll let you go first on this
I
one.
think it's fantastic. I said a year and a half ago to Gerald, my partner on Wrestling Spotlight of 2 years now, going into 3. He asked me a question, guys. He said, why was CM Punk signed in the WWE to go out and make a movie and not be wrestling? And I said, because that's what they do. They are developing his story. I said, they're going to get to him. They're going to use him. They're going to exhaust him once they use him. And they are going to show him as tired and banged up and ragged. Joe Bentley can pull this tape out of the archives vault at Wrestling Spotlight and hit the replay button now, as he can some other tapes where I've made these similar predictions. Not saying I'm perfect, I'm not, but I nailed this, and I said we'll be hearing a lot from CM Punk in the coming year and the coming months. And here we are in the CM Punk business, scratching our heads, most of us, wondering what's next for Punk. I say on record, I think Punk beats Rhodes and gets the whole thing done. I think Rhodes has been a great champion. I think he just needs a break. I think he's a little burned out at being on top right now. And I think it's time for him to take a few weeks off and recharge and come back. As a veteran of the ring, I see a burned out Rhodes right now. And when you get that way at any job, especially in combative sports and performing arts, as wrestling is to some fans, it wears you down and you get thrown off your game. So give it to a fresher guy, and in this case, that guy's CM Punk.
Hence why Randy Orton needed to win the title at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
based upon what you just said.
Well, that didn't happen.
And I just want to say, as an aside, before we get into this topic, the punt from Randy Orton.
I got that one right, Brian.
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, the punt from Randy Orton on the Cody Rhodes. The punt at one point in time was protected. Guys were getting stretchered out because of that. If I remember correctly, they did the post show of WrestleMania, and literally they showed Cody walking up the ramp right after getting punted in the head. So they kind of damaged his credibility a little bit. I mean, I know he had the black eye. They kind of sold to that and such, but I just felt like the punt should have been protected a little bit more in that instance. But as far as Punk and Cody goes, I mean, when you look at it, I mean they definitely foreshadowed a possible a match that's definitely going to happen at some point. But the stage is what matters. I mean, that's definitely either SummerSlam or it's either SummerSlam or knowing WWE. Hey, let's do it in Saudi Arabia. I'm not even for WrestleMania next year because I don't even think that they can maintain the interest until then. But like whenever they're going back to Saudi before then, they may decide let's just do it then. But it's definitely a very they've actually been building that matchup for since
just for the record, they're going to Saudi Arabia in June. Night of Champions.
Yes, so they could decide just to do it there because of their relationship with Saudi Arabia. But they've kind of been teasing that match for a while. If you go back to before when CM Punk came back initially, building for the build towards WrestleMania 40. Remember that Royal Rumble, that second Rumble that Cody won, he eliminated Punk. They were the last two. And they had a very good promo segment beforehand, kind of showing the versatility of both of them on the mic. So you clearly could see that if these two guys were to match up in the future, that it was going to be a tremendous match. I mean, they're both established veterans. They know what it takes to have a great match and a great program. And as I said, I'm glad that they've already planted those seeds. Like I said, I think, me personally, if you can't maintain the interest until next year's WrestleMania, it should definitely be something that they do at SummerSlam this year.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's going to deliver. The name sell itself. Like Cody said in his promo on SmackDown, that when he talked about the powers that be that want to intervene in his WrestleMania plans, like they're making it very clear. Like TKO, stay the fuck out of WWE storylines, man. I'm telling you. Like, if you guys want to focus on dollars and cents, do that. But as far as the actual creative and storyline, the night one of WrestleMania and everything that you guys did with Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll leading up to it, I don't understand how that's not a clear indication that you guys need to stay the fuck out of the way and let the professionals do what they do. Like,
Brian,
yeah.
I have an idea how Pat McAfee ended up involved in all of it. Somebody on the creative board of directors said out loud, "We've got so much time here with nobody to put into the story. Who can we put in there?" So somebody raised their hand and yelled, "Pat McAfee." And there you were.
It's also because he has a good relationship with ESPN, and then that whole thing with the ESPN deal.
That's not good enough to. You do that for The Rock.
That's their thought process.
Yeah. But this is the problem with TKO, because we're in a small tangent here. That's the stuff you do for The Rock. Like, if The Rock comes out and does some stuff like that, okay.
Yeah, but The Rock isn't on ESPN like that, though. He doesn't have his own. He doesn't have his own segment. He doesn't have his own show. They're like,
who?
Look at all the sports things.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Look at all the sports
I
things
understand.
that McAfee's attached to. That's the only reason. That's the only. What besides Stephen A. Smith? Stephen A. Smith is going to get in the ring. Who's the only other person who?
Lewis,
I'm just saying that's their thought process. With like,
I get what you're saying, but as I said,
it's ridiculous.
As I said, they already have the ESPN deal.
I know.
They already have the ESPN deal. That's my whole thing about this whole thing. They already have the ESPN
But
deal.
I guarantee it's like we need to use some of our ESPN stuff to get our ESPN viewers on this, and they're like, well, everybody loves Pat McAfee on ESPN. He's in WWE. Put him there. Everybody's gonna watch. But it's like, to everybody that's in this, viewer or passion for wrestling and WWE, it's like, this makes no sense. You're butchering things that are so easily laid up for us to be great, and you're like, no, we need to do that and this and Jelly Roll and blah blah blah, and it's like, yo, what are we doing?
Didn't need it.
No,
Didn't
not
need
at
it.
all.
Hopefully we
Not
get
at all.
less of that. Hopefully we get less of that going forward.
You know what's funny? Jelly Roll was probably the only
funny.
factor that kind of made the most sense because he had that match with Randy. That was the only
Yep, yep.
little tie. McAfee made no sense whatsoever, and that is what killed everything.
I don't know. It wasn't needed. But hopefully Cody Rhodes gets some rest. He's been through a lot. After WrestleMania 42, and it's every WrestleMania 42, he always gets beat up. But hopefully we continue to get good stories on SmackDown. They continue to build, and I'm worried about SmackDown because we're going to get into that a little later, but just all the stuff with the call-ups and stuff like that. It's like, how are you guys now going to be hard-pressed to tell these stories on SmackDown? So that's going to be the thing going forward. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. There's a lot of other stuff going on, but let's keep moving on here. We had some releases from WWE. It's that time of the season. The Purge happened, where budget cuts come into play. And there were 23 wrestlers released, over 20 wrestlers released. Some surprising, some not surprising. The Wyatt Six were released. Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, Dexter Lewis, Eric Roman, Joe Gacy.
Loomis, get it right. Dexter
He got his lantern back. They got him out.
What did I say? I said Dexter Loomis.
You said Lewis. Dexter Lewis.
My bad. You want to know what it is? Dexter Lewis. You were the one that wanted this to work. And I said from day, and this is no shot to those people, right? To the Wyatt Six. First of all, I like all those people individually involved.
Yes.
Them as this group, it was a tribute to Bray Wyatt. I understand that. There's no direction from this group. There's nothing there and I'm just like, this is the worst case of non-creative, right? Because you at least put these people in a group. You didn't utilize them properly. They wrestled literally.
They didn't tell the story of how they got there at all.
Not really. They wrestled the week before they got cut. So it's like you were doing something with this group and then just cut them. And I hope all of them land on their feet. You know, it's not easy. Nikki Cross, I think she didn't have a match from like 2019 or something like that when she was like Nikki Ash and stuff. I don't know. The person that would have saved this would have been
Alexa. She has a PhD, dude.
Yeah, the only person that would have saved this would have been Alexa Bliss.
Yes.
They never interjected that. They have Alexa Bliss come out with the doll. That's a tribute to Bray. Even at WrestleMania 42, she had the Firefly outfit on. Tribute to Bray. Did not do anything.
She knew.
Didn't do anything with it. I don't know. They just never crossed those lines. Even though I didn't want that to happen. If anything was going to save that group, it would have been that. Santos Escobar got cut. He was in AAA. He was in AAA doing some good things and just randomly got cut. Zoe Stark, who I feel like is a tragedy in all this because she had that ACL tear. Yeah. She worked her ass off to come back. I believe they were doing vignettes for her and saying, hey, you're going to come back soon. And then they cut her. And I like Zoe Stark in the ring. I think she's one of the more innovative, one of the risk takers in the women's division. And then she gets cut. It's like, that just sucks. Alba Fire gets cut from Chelsea Green's Secret Harvest. So it's like, now where's Chelsea Green in this, right? Like, where's she? Where's her group? She doesn't even have a group. There's nothing there. And it's like,
she's out with the hurt ankle right now, supposedly rehabbing.
But it's just, now we're just looking for a reboot now of Chelsea Green when that thing was working. The Secret Harvest was completely working. Yeah.
Tyra May Steele actually making her a baby face again.
Yeah, she slowly.
Tyra May Steele, who was in NXT, who I thought was okay, just never really got the rub into NXT and stuff like that. Former Olympian and stuff like that. She got cut. I saw her at NXT Heatwave. She's gone. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say as an aside, her getting cut sets a bad precedent because she won LFG. So it makes you ask the question: what the fuck is the point of having LFG if she's gonna win and then get released right after?
Wait, the main girl who won the first LFG got cut?
Yes.
Didn't they have like huge prospects for her?
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, you win the show, you win the contract, and then a couple of months go by, and now you're out of a job. Like, what's the
like
point of the show?
That's like saying
Like, what's the point?
that's like
Or,
doing.
or is the whole point of the show kind of similar to Tough Enough, where it's like, you know how like when they would have the Tough Enough winners, but they would sign some of the other talent that may have been eliminated.
Yep.
Wonder if that's just the mindset where it's not, where it's a competition show, but realistically, if you show out in the competition, we'll still sign you. I wonder if it's something similar to that.
Dude,
go ahead.
Firing her.
And guys, back in my time,
firing her is like winning American Idol and then being like, you get nothing.
Pretty much.
and back in my time, the WWE actually, guys, ran house shows, and instead of terminating your contract, they would send you down to play house shows until you perfected your craft, and then they may bring you back. And instead of doing that to the guys in today's wrestling world, they can send them down to NXT and let them work the younger talent.
My thing is that she was already in NXT.
I don't get this.
And then they pulled her back and forth between LFG and Evolve and stuff like that. Nikita Lyons is still on NXT. And she lost. And I think I saw something that she hasn't won a match in like 482 days or some crap like that. Like she's been on a crazy losing
I thought she
streak.
was still in Evolve.
Yeah, she has been going back and forth between NXT and Evolve.
And then she lost on a debut to a new up and comer coming up there, and I'm just like, what? I don't know. Andre Chase got cut from Chase U, so that's no more. NXT staple for years is now gone.
Yeah, you guys, I know you guys were happy about that since you guys hated the gimmick.
I didn't
hated
hate it. I didn't hate it. I just knew that would not work on the main roster. That was my thing. It was an NXT character, and it was cool, and it did what it did. But I knew from the jump that was not going to go to the main roster. I knew it.
Motor City Machine Guns,
Tragic.
getting cut.
Tragic.
You just brought back the Street Profits, and you cut the Motor City Machine Guns. Makes no sense to me.
They won the titles off rip, and this is what I say. WWE at this point should just get rid of tag team wrestling. I don't know. You literally have 2 sets of tag team titles and you do nothing with them. I don't know. Like, our focus is they weren't even on the card. When was the last time the tag titles have been defended on any PLE? Anything? It's like you might as well just get rid of the tag division because it's not even worth it anymore.
Both sets of champions right now are makeshift tag teams.
Yeah.
Yes. R-Truth and Damian Priest.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but
The Vision is at least a team. The Vision is at least a team. At least they're a part of a faction. I'm with that. I'm fine with that. But Damian Priest and R-Truth, and then you have Brie Bella and Paige. Yeah, like, what are we doing?
Daniel Curse Hansen, who's going to break up Damian Priest.
Or probably.
Just to curse him.
Just some weird stuff going on. I don't understand. What came as a surprise for me, I think all of us, there's a couple more here. Aleister Black and Zelina Vega.
Makes no sense.
You just signed Aleister Black, what, a year ago?
Barely.
6 months ago?
A year ago. I couldn't believe the cut either.
And you had Zelina Vega do all this stuff, win the United States title, kill that. Then you had her join her husband. It's like, okay, they're going to be the new Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Like, that's what you guys basically did and get rid of.
I did a commentary on him on Spotlight, too.
Yep.
So
I'm
not getting
a lot of times it feels like if they don't know what to do, it's just like, we don't need them.
They were being considered to be the voice for Randy Orton before WrestleMania 42. Like, this is what's been reported.
I know. I saw that report too, that he was supposed to actually have a feud with Randy at Mania.
To go to possibly the main event of WrestleMania 42. Think about that. And then all of a sudden now we don't have anything for you.
You know what it would have done for him to beat Randy? Like, that would have shot him. It would have done everything.
It would have easily put him into a title picture with Cody and they had the history from AEW. So why tap into that? Why give Cody a different challenger? Why change things up,
You
right?
can't talk about AEW and WWE. You know.
Oh my God.
Well, when I read the cut list, I thought, well, God knows, everyone who didn't make it to WrestleMania 42 has been cut.
Like, it's terrible. Like, I don't understand that one. And I thought they were a good look. They just had to put them in something worthwhile. The Wyatt Six, I can understand getting them cut. Aleister Black and Zelina, I'm like, I don't understand what they're doing here. But the biggest tragedy, which has been online, and
Kyrie.
Kyrie Sane. We want Kyrie. Kyrie Sane, who has been in a year-long feud between Io and Asuka, has been in between these two.
The key part of the feud.
Literally the key part of the feud.
Yep. Literally the one.
And to get rid of Kyrie Sane. There's been a report saying, hey, that she was going back to Japan. Some people are saying, hey, that's why she asked for a release. Some people are saying that that's not true. Like, that's not what happened at all. She's just going back to Japan because she got released. And this is to have no payoff to it is the biggest thing for me, because it's like, you invested so much time into this, and then to just be like, oh, we're going to cut this.
Yeah.
To cut this person that has been on the verge of, I thought that was going to be an awesome baby face, to go up against Asuka, to go up against this new version of Asuka and stuff like that, and stand up for herself, possibly be put into the mid card, possibly be main event level in terms of getting matches and stuff like that. Kairi Sane will be a fantastic challenger for Liv Morgan. Like, whatever the case may be, I don't know the trajectory of whatever the case may be with that title and stuff right now, but it looks like Stephanie Backhair is still challenging her and stuff like that. For them not to do anything with Kairi Sane and just release her when she's in the middle of the story, as Brian said, literally the biggest part of the story, the driving force, and just I don't know.
And that's the thing that makes it so frustrating.
Rumor word is that she got homesick and wanted to go home. But the bumps that she's taken the past year do get to you, and these wrestlers don't have any time off. I mean, it is show after show after show after show after show. But to have her in that kind of a in-depth story and not carry on with the story and not put her out in front, which is where she was going, and to remove Rhea Ripley all of a sudden and to open up Io Sky, it's the craziest ending outcome to a story I've seen in all my wrestling days. I'm so disgusted with TKO right now, I can wring their necks. I'm real happy that one of my favorite people, Triple H, is not totally responsible for the creative decisions by himself any longer in the WWE creative side of things. Because my respect for him was going down the toilet fast. I thought, gosh, I mean, what the world is going on with you? Have you just gotten tunnel vision? But I'm going to be hyping We Want Her until she comes back every time I'm on the show. I started a chant for her online. I don't know if people read what I started or not, but it has gone online in a circle in the wrestling community. People have picked it up. They chanted "We Want Her" during Asuka's match during Raw. Brought tears to my eyes. I just, it's wrong if they took her out just to take her out. That's an injustice.
Yep. Go ahead, Brian.
All over. I mean that's just nasty wrong.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the reason why it's so frustrating is that if the story had played out, Kairi Sane was about to be a big babyface on the roster. I mean, it was a very simple story of the abusive teacher abusing her student, and the student finally standing up for herself. It's a very simple story. That's the reason why you're getting these "We Want Kyrie" chants, because they knew, all these fans know, that eventually the payoff was going to be her finally standing up for herself, which means
again with the Io Sky. Damn it.
Exactly. It also means that her character work in the last couple of months has been damn near perfect. She's been playing that innocent character perfectly with the facial expressions, her actions. She was going to be a big baby face as a result if the story had played out. And now they just tossed all of that to the side and for what? I mean, I really want to know, like, when these decisions are made, what exactly is the process? Does TKO like give
I
Triple
want to
H
know that.
Does TKO give Triple H like a quota and say like, hey, you need to cut this much, salary. We don't care who it is, just cut this. It has to be this amount of money, and then he just literally looks and then says, damn, I gotta get rid of this guy, I gotta get rid of that guy, I gotta cut salary. But I just think this is the one time where it's just like dude.
I've had respect for Triple H forever. I'm glad it's not just him.
Yeah, I hate seeing people get fired, but it's almost like there were others on the roster that you could have went to before Kyrie Sane.
A lot of others.
My biggest thing, I had a thought and I lost it. Damn it. Just thinking about this whole situation, it's like, was this a situation where it's like we don't want her to be a big baby face and we don't want her in that position, and that isn't what we thought of this storyline? And then we're going to get rid of, kind of like a Zack Ryder thing, like you're getting over, but we didn't pick you to get over. Like, I just don't understand why she got cut. It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. I'm not saying other people should be chosen over her or whatever the case may be, but for her to have that type of support and stuff like that, and then for these bastards to continue the storyline into Backlash,
like nothing happened,
and it's like like nothing happened. And then this is my thought. This is my thought about it, right? So you cut Kairi Sane. This hashtag grows over. So you cut her in the middle of the storyline. This hashtag's growing, all the social media, kind of similar to the R-Truth situation, right?
Yeah.
Now the performers, Io Sky and Asuka, have to go out there and act like nothing happened. Act like nothing happened and get this backlash from fans as a response for you guys cutting Kyrie. Yeah. Like, how does that help those two performers now get this over? For the next month, that is what it's going to be until you either decide to kibosh this storyline or whatever you do going forward with it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
You put those two women who have done nothing but put the storyline over, be in multiple storylines for the whole year. Number one, not even get on WrestleMania, not even have a match on WrestleMania. And now you put them in a tough position after the fact, like, oh, well, here guys go.
Yeah. Then that's why I think they're smart enough to realize that Backlash is probably going to be the end all be all of this feud, because now moving forward, anytime you see these two, you're going to think someone's missing. Like, literally. And the crowd's gonna let them know every single time. Yeah. And then this is gonna be a thing. Yeah, if one of them is cutting a promo or both of them are on screen together, the chance are gonna come.
It's gonna be a movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, every single time. And now you're gonna put
stinking time.
So people are already saying that Kairi Sane's gonna show up at Backlash in a black mask, and
that would be so sick. Oh man,
it'll be one of the times where it's effective, right?
I think when something like this happens, I think one of the suits should come out like they did back in my day and explain to everyone exactly what happened and cut through the BS and tell us the truth to the story. They don't do that anymore. They hide in the front office.
Yeah. Hey. I wouldn't want to take that drawback right now. I would not want to. But yes, we want Kyrie. We will put that up every week for Kyrie when she returns.
Mention my name every week, even when I'm not here.
You know what I mean? This is just an injustice. That the same for R-Truth, where everybody was like, yo, what are you doing? What is this? This is the same feeling for that, because it's like you can see something stewing and something brewing with her over the months, over the years, over the days and stuff like that with this whole storyline. And then they cut out. This is like them, I don't know. This is just bad. We all agree this is bad.
I just want to mention just one thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
About everybody that got released. This whole 90-day non-compete for getting released It really is bullshit. Because think
Yeah.
about it. Think about all these people that got released. They were all model employees that literally creative had nothing for them. They literally showed up to work every single day when they were assigned. They literally did their jobs, did everything, and then they get released like that, and then you have to serve 90 days non-compete. It's bullshit because
and when they do compete, Brian, they can't use their WWE character either because that's trademarked by the WWE.
They can't use the character, but you can still go out there, work a couple of independent shows, try to make a living. They can't even do that
For 90 days, right?
Because think about it, you got cut because of budgets. You got cut because of a budget, which literally means that was WWE telling you, "Oh, you're not that important, so therefore we're cutting you." So if you feel that way, let me go out and go make a living. Now, if you get fired for disciplinary reasons, or if you like sign a 3-year contract, serve 1 year, and then you want out of your contract, those are the only 2 reasons that you should be doing a 90-day non-compete.
Yeah.
If you're getting cut for budget cuts, the company is literally telling you, okay, we don't need you anymore. So if you don't need me, let me go out there and make a living. Let me go to AEW. Let me go to TNA.
Give you a head notice at least.
Like that's another thing too. Like a lot of them don't have. I think we saw with Rich Holland and stuff like that. Guys get cut and stuff like that. They don't have insurance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's lack of protections for wrestlers and stuff like that. Even in this day and age of WWE and stuff like that, where it gets tough. And then some people are in cruel online and saying, "Hey, why don't you save your money and stuff like that?" It's like it's a different lifestyle for wrestlers. You're paying out of pocket. You're paying out of pocket.
They don't have an insurance plan. They don't pay for motel stays. They don't pay for airfare. They don't pay for food, clothing. They just give you a lump sum and say, go with it.
Yep. Yeah. I think Jay Cargill was talking about that on
my former tag team partner. I vouch for that to this minute. I talked to him just the other day. Michael Youngblood.
Yep. I think Jay Cargill said something like that, like she pays for her own food, like they pay for their own hotel accommodations and stuff like that, their travel.
Of the Youngblood family.
Yeah, Becky Lynch actually said that on a podcast too.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Becky as well.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But
and your money goes when it's like that. So you get hurt, you pay for that too.
So it's like when you're looking at these releases and stuff like that, I hope all these people land on their feet. I hope they're able to find success. Hope they're able to go to TNA. Hope they're able to go to AEW and stuff like that. Wherever the case, even if it's overseas or whatever the case may be, and find success somewhere. That's the main thing. And we want Kyrie. God damn it.
We want Kyrie.
Stupid. Bad decision. Bad WWE. Bad WWE.
Mind blowing.
All right. But let's keep moving on.
Quality partner.
Let's keep moving on. We had some NXT.
That, but I won't.
We had some NXT call ups here. A lot of changes here. We got Ethan Page. We got Ethan Page already on Raw. We got Joe Hendry on Raw as well. We got Sol Ruka debuting this upcoming Monday coming up here. We already have Fatal Influence making their impact on SmackDown as well. Standing up to Artie, the biggest boss on the yard, Rhea Ripley. Looks like Jade Cargill is not in the picture at the moment. We also have Ricky Saints and Blake Monroe also on the call up to SmackDown. What do you guys make of this one here? It looks like NXT is getting gutted with all these call ups. First at the start of the year was Trick, Oba, and Javon, and now we got Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, Sol Ruka, Fatal Influence, Blake Monroe, and Joe Hendry. What do you guys
the big guys aren't even, but I looked at it just last night all the way through, and from what I saw, there are replacements coming in, and their names, new faces that I haven't heard of before. That look like that there'll be decent competition that have done the road time before getting to NXT. And I swear I saw 13, 14 new guys come through that were just incredibly looking groups of people. That's what I like about today's wrestling versus back in my day. You have so many different intersections to go. Jordan and I got into this a little bit on Wrestling Spotlight last week. because the WWF guys used to be the retirement center for everybody. Everyone wanted to go to the WWF, retire decently, and get into the Hall of Fame and call it even. And the deal with getting into the Hall of Fame, guys, is once you get your ring and then you go and make your personal appearances wherever you go throughout the year, the WWF, now WWE, will pay you $1,000 extra for making your signing appearances. So you get that plus your table sales, your book, whatever you have. And that becomes the wrestler's income a lot of times after their retirements. Me, I'm called out of retirement. I'm managing the Masters Luca. I'm doing media stuff, so it's ironing out for me. But nowadays, the WWE is not the retirement capital. You have AEW, you have TNA, you have a lot of different ways to go. And I think it's fantastic that the highway intersection has gotten bigger and wider than ever before. I mean, they're bringing in names now, Daniel, that I haven't heard of. I'm going to have to do commentaries on them to find out about them, Brian.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. But I just
go ahead,
feel,
Brian.
yeah. I just feel like this set of call ups. I think it was just too much. It's too much. It's too much too soon because you just had the call ups in January. Now the call ups in January, what was it? Trick? Daniel just mentioned Trick, Oba, and Javon. Those are three guys who have been featured prominently on the show since their call up. I mean, Oba being dominant, Trick now is the U.S. champion. Javon is featured every week, and now you're bringing in like 4 or 5 more guys that were supposed to be looked upon on the same level as kind of like Trick, Javon, and Oba. Like we're supposed to care. And it's just like it's just too much, too many new guys. Like you can't book Oba, Trick, Javon, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, Joe Hendry. You can't book all six of these guys strong all at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, that's king.
Get lost in the
should they called up?
Yeah. Now
looking on the secret.
Yeah. Now Sol Ruka coming up. I mean that mean. She's the only one. If there was going to be a call up, I feel like she was the only one that should have been called up because she's been damn near ready since the very beginning. Blake Monroe, exact same thing. We talked about it. I talked about that months ago when people said that she should have been to the main roster a lot sooner because of her AEW run. So she's gonna have an impact. But I just feel like with all these guys being called up, plus on top of it, there's a bunch of guys that we complain about on a weekly basis that aren't being featured, like guys like the Carmelo Hayes of the world, like the Ray Phoenixes of the world. All these guys that aren't being used, aren't being featured, that should be. Now you're adding more names to the pot. Someone's gonna get lost in the shuffle, and then the fact that SmackDown is being cut back to 2 hours, that's even less time that you can feature guys. So. Too much, too soon. Somebody's gonna get lost. Somebody's gonna end up getting lost in the shuffle, and then we're gonna end up complaining about why is this guy not being featured? And there's too much talent. And I hate saying that the roster is too deep because it really is a cop out to say that. But when you look at it now, it really is. The roster is too bloated now. I mean, you look at the release. You look at some of the releases that they recently just had. And then you look at the roster now, it's still like, yeah, you trim some fat, but it's like, damn, the roster is still bloated though. So it's like,
and I'd like to say one thing, if I can, Daniel. Miles Bourne opening up NXT on his own, looking like a champion the past 3 weeks straight now as the North American champion, dominating the show. Taking care of outside interference, the whole 9 yards, his hearing loss and toe and everything. Looking more and more like his dad, Randy Orton, every day. I swear he's gained 15 pounds since winning the title. Just a good-looking young man. He'll be next to be called up.
We'll see. Thoughts on the call-ups, Lewis?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm happy for a lot of people. Obviously, like Ethan Page, I feel like he's been ready. Sol Ruka for sure. I was kind of talking like I haven't fully been watching all of SmackDown because it's just been kind of rough. But like, Fatal Influence, I'm not a huge fan of that group.
I'll say this, Lewis. They had a ton of heat, but it wasn't heel heat. It was go away heat.
Exactly. That was my heat with them as well. It's like, I don't know, something about them, they're just like not clicking for me. But I'm also surprised that Blake Monroe got called up so quick. Not that she doesn't have the skill. Obviously, we saw what she did in AEW, but I think it would have benefited her to become women's champ for a bit. I know she had she won the North American.
They're supposed to be a natural progression.
Exactly.
That they hotshot people that they don't use, and I don't get it.
I mean,
Don't get it.
I mean, I guess she's kind of an exception because she has the history. I mean, she has the experience. But I think for her trajectory, I think her being women's champ for a bit would have elevated her. Like, maybe kind of like how it did Tiffany a little bit. Because I feel like when Tiffany was champ and then she had her match with Becky, it kind of like brought more eyes to her. I think it works out better when you have the person who's the top there. When like Kevin Owens was NXT champ, when Rhea was NXT champ, it's like when you have the champ coming up to the main roster and be like, "Hey, I'm still running things down here, and I'm coming to the main roster." I think it's just a better look. But to like bombard the main, I mean, I get it. Hey, we've always seen the Mania after, the Raw and SmackDowns after Mania, and then you get the call-ups. But it's usually a few. And I feel like it's kind of like a huge shift. And obviously with all these releases, I guess they got to fill all these spots. So let's hope that people don't get lost in the shuffle. But we'll see.
This is my thing about this. Congratulations to everybody getting called up.
Yeah.
All the releases happen and stuff like that. This is my thing. You did these cuts. You're bringing people up. And I understand the whole NXT system. They have LFG. They have Evolve. So that's going to be their farm system of getting people onto NXT. That's where a lot of the people come up from now. That debuted this week and last week on NXT from Evolve and LFG. But my whole thing now with that is like, now I have to watch Evolve and LFG to understand who these people are coming into NXT. So if I was a fan of NXT, now I have to reprogram my brain because you just called up everybody out of storylines. And now I got to learn about these people too.
I'm right there with you.
And the roster already for NXT is thin. I'm sorry. Tony D'Angelo as the champion. I'm sorry. I haven't been able to get into his character at all. I'm sorry. He looks better.
Character-wise, he's a lot better. He's a
big dude, I tell you.
It's a new coat of paint. But as for the main roster, this is my issue right here. Do not have crappy booking. That is unacceptable.
You know better than that.
No.
That's a lot to ask for.
Exactly.
For WWE right now, you made all these cuts. You want to put who you want to showcase on main event TV. Do not have bad booking for any of these people involved. That is unacceptable right now. You cannot do that to this roster right now. After you cut as many people as you have, and then you call these people up and then just thrust them on the main roster. I think Ethan Page is going to be fine. I like him in the mid-card position right now. I think that's a good look. He's going to add some new stuff to it. Joe Hendry, I don't know where he quite fits. He had the concert on Monday Night Raw, and he's getting involved in stuff, so we'll see what happens with him. JC Jane. Yeah. JC Jane going into this right off the bat, getting into the face of Rhea Ripley, and I'm just like, why? I don't get that. Like, I understand what they have a lot of heat, so I know WWE is going to try to capitalize off of it, but it's just like, for me personally, I'm like, we just had this match with Jade Cargill. Why are we getting another trio inserted when we had a trio? I don't get that. And
I'm gonna throw a little bit of a hot take here. Next round of cuts, budget cuts. Joe Hendry is going to be a part of those cuts. I'm calling it right now because I'm throwing this out there. And I like Joe Hendry. I'm throwing it out there because this gimmick. Yeah, exactly. This gimmick,
Brian, I think he brings heat.
I have a feeling that within a year, either they're not gonna know how to book it, or it's gonna grow stale as hell, and they're just gonna cut him the same way they cut Kyrie Sane. That's what I feel like is gonna happen. It's either gonna get
You want to
stale,
know what?
or they're not gonna know how to book it.
You want to know what, Brian? Because there's two versions of this comedy thing that's on the roster right now. There's Danhausen, and now there's Joe Hendry. That's the problem for me, and that's where I can see that actually happening, because he would have been perfect in NXT right now, I think, with the lack of things they have going on down there. I don't know why they called him up so fast. I think we needed another, 3, 4, 6 months and stuff like that, kind of like what they did with Trick Williams, where we thought Trick was going to get called up, and they kind of delayed that.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with Brian. I don't want him to get cut, because now you got to think about it, because what other version of this character have we seen?
Exactly. We've only seen one version of it.
But I see. I'm going to disagree, because look at the landscape. How many true baby faces do we actually have with potential?
Not a lot.
Not a
Vaughn, Penta.
true baby face.
Gets a little.
It's
Okay,
very bleak.
all right.
It's very bleak. He has the song. Yes, the song can be gimmicky, but whatever. But it's not a cringy. Like, it's actually very natural elevation. And
we need Booker T on commentary, though. That's my only thing.
Please. He needs to be at every.
I don't understand why he's not.
But I think that plays a big part for him. I think he could be. I hate to say it. I think he could be what Sami Zayn should be. And it sucks, because at this point, I think I am losing hope in Sami Zayn ever becoming champion at this point, because I think that train has left the station. I see Joe Hendry as, like, he could be this comedy character, but I think he could be a true baby face. Kind of not like, I'm not gonna say like the next Cody, but I think he could be the next natural baby face who could get a short run and get the title. I mean, he got it in NXT.
He can be LA Knight-ish, right? If he gets the promo right, like, he can be LA Knight-ish to me a little bit. A person who I'm concerned about. I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I don't want to see Joe Hendry. I just want to see a different switch in his character, because we've seen them do this thing with Elias, where the walk with Elias and the whole thing and the whole song and the whole album.
I get that. I think it's different though. Because Elias. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Elias did have a lot.
As long as they don't make him Ezekiel.
They never had Elias. They never had Elias win any matches. I think that was the issue. They never had him win anything, and he was great on the mic. He made his gimmick work, but they just didn't want to give him anything. But I don't know. The one that I am worried about, and it sucks to say that I'm worried about, is Ricky Saints.
Yeah, me too.
I see him falling in the same pit as Carmelo Hayes. Like, he'll get, and that's the thing, he's so good. He's so good, but he really has to have a moment to captivate the crowd where people are like, oh, like, he has it. If he doesn't, he's going to be in that same mid-card whirlpool where a lot of people get stuck. So he's the one that I'm really worried about.
Yeah.
Well, here's my stand on Ricky Saints. I think if he were to elevate Siobhan Evans, he and Siobhan Evans could have some great matches between each other, being that Ricky Saints is mostly a heel these days with the baby face look, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think, well, he's going to be on SmackDown, so he's going to be in that mixture of Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes, maybe Trick Williams. And it's so weird because him and Trick Williams kind of have that same egotistical vibe. So it's like, how is that going to mesh well? Are they going to be a tag team? Are they going to team together? Are they going to butt heads? Like, what's going to happen with that? Everyone's over with Trick right now, and I don't think everyone's as over with Ricky Saints. I'm not as drawn to his character. I think he's good in the ring and stuff like that, but it's going to be interesting to see how they blend all of these people together, right? Because again, I've already seen JC Jane mixing with Rhea Ripley, and I'm like, I don't know if that's the right place for her and stuff like that. But it's going to be interesting to see where Sol Ruka comes into play. Hopefully, maybe we get some interesting stuff with her. They can't miss with her. I don't want them to do that. Like, she has to hit the ground running. I know she had that Saturday night's main event match with Bayley and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play. They already been putting Ethan Page with this little, looks like a partnership with Rusev here, where they're kind of trying to beat up on the good guy mid-carder. So I'm like, at least that gives a rub to Rusev as well, because now he's got to work with this new guy and stuff like that. So
I heard one humorous thing about Trick Williams this past week that turned out to be a true story. He did not wear his trademark fur coat out to the ring, and Triple H was livid. He made him go back to the locker room and get it, walk back out to the ring again.
Yeah, yeah, that's what you do now. Hey,
trademark, it should get back.
You know what's funny about that? Because if you go back to NXT, yeah, he always wore like different outfits every week. But now it's the white coat, baby. Exactly. Now the lemon pepper stepper thing is over now. Like he wears white every single week. So it's like it's
and he needs to stop saying, "Woo!" Either get it right or shut up. It's unbecoming when he messes up. That's all I'm saying.
That's a style. But the white coat thing, I'm like, I kind of want to see Trick wear some different stuff. I kind of want to see him wear some different stuff.
Even in the media, when he goes on his interviews, like all week for ESPN, there was wearing nothing but the coat. I'm like, I get it. It's a part of the gimmick, but damn, can we switch it up a little bit?
Yeah,
he's gotta be like,
you gotta wear the white shirt
every time.
I wouldn't like anything else now.
He calls the shoes lemon pepper steppers. Lemon pepper steppers. Not white steppers, not blue steppers, lemon. That means you can change the color.
Now he's got to have yellow bottoms. Is that what you're saying, Brian? He's got to have yellow bottoms on the shoes.
You have to be white all the
time. I don't know.
He's got to put the actual seasoning on them. That's what it is.
But that would do it for this episode. It's been great. Went over WrestleMania. We did the NXT call ups, the WWE releases. We want Kyrie, bring her back. We'll pick it up next week here on the show with Backlash. Basically, first pay-per-view of the reset, right? Already here.
It's been so long since Mania, and wow, we got another.
Let me tell you something, Lewis. If you think that's bad, Clash in Italy.
I don't even want to look at this summer.
Is May 31st.
Wow.
So we have another one in 2 weeks.
So we got Backlash, Clash, and then what's next? SummerSlam? No, SummerSlam.
I think they're
next is Night of the Champions.
Night of Champions.
Night of Champions is in July, I think, right?
I think there's Saturday night's main event.
Story built ever. My God.
Space it out, WWE. Space it out. That's all. That's my only advice. Space it out. But we'll catch you guys next week. Remember to always kick out on 2. Until next time.